What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. I've been getting tons of comments saying, hey, take a look at some of the plug-in hybrids and EVs on the market, and today we're gonna do exactly just that. This is an entry from Mini. Now, I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with Mini. They entered the US market in 2002, and since then they've been quite successful, selling over 725,000 units. This is the 2021 Mini Cooper SE Countryman ALL4 plug-in hybrid. This is an entry level to the SUV segment. So I know a lot of you guys are saying these Mini Coopers keep getting larger and larger. And yes, that's true. Compared to the old school Minis, today's Minis are a lot bigger. But you have to remember, this is an entry into the SUV segment. So in terms of standard SUV proportions, this is relatively small, mini, if you will. So today, let's take a look at the exterior and interior details of this Mini Cooper Countryman that's been finished in silver and features a black leather interior, and see how this ride has been engineered for excellence. Starting the review at the front of the Countryman, anybody will be able to tell you this is instantly recognizable as a Mini with this traditional design language here. The hood features subtle styling. You do have decals for stripes. I do wish those were painted on for the price point of this vehicle. As shown, this is going for just under $46,000. Now, underneath the hood, you have a power plant that's a 1.5 liter, 3-cylinder that's putting out 134 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque. Now, of course, this is a hybrid, so you have electric motors that are putting out 87 horsepower and then 122 pound-feet of torque. So your combined output is going to be 221 horsepower and 284 pound-feet of torque. Now, that 1.5 liter 3-cylinder is going to power your front wheels, and those electric motors are going to power your rear wheels. So this is all-wheel drive. Now, the combined MPGe output with the full charge and that 3-cylinder power plant is going to be 73 miles per gallon equivalent. Now, just on gasoline alone, you're looking at about 27 miles per gallon. And if you're all electric, you want to go full electric, your range is going to be around 18 miles. Now, back to the styling. One thing I noticed that's crazy is when you lift up the hood, the headlamps stay here on the bottom, and then the hood just has 2 holes in it. That's due to federal regulations. You can't have headlamps or tail lamps on a moving piece of bodywork. They have to be fixed. So they look pretty interesting when the hood is up and then the eyes of the car are still down here. Now, coming over to the grille, I love the gloss black surround, and then your S badge is done in green. Obviously, this is a hybrid vehicle, so you have to have green accents everywhere. And then coming back over to the headlamps, your headlamps are fully LED. So you have your LED daytime running lamps, LED headlamps, and even LED turning signals. So I like how they went the full way here. A lot of auto manufacturers will only give you LED daytime running lamps and headlamps, but then do an incandescent turning signal. So they didn't half step on that. Coming lower, you do have fog lamps and then an aggressive overall front fascia as well. Now, when it comes to the side profile, this is unmistakably Mini with its traditional design language, even though it is their take on an SUV. Now, to give you an idea of the proportions of this vehicle, it's 169.5 inches long. Your wheelbase is 105 inches long. Speaking of wheels, this Countryman comes equipped with the 18-inch Penn-spoke wheels done in black, shot in Pirelli P0s that are 225 in the front and rear. Now, of course, you do have your charging port on the side. If you use a level 2 charger, you'll get a full charge in about 2.5 hours. Now, above the wheel, you'll notice you have the black body cladding. That's appropriate because, again, this is Mini's take on an SUV. And since this is an SUV, I'll go ahead and mention your ground clearance. That's about 6.5 inches. But if you notice on this vehicle, there are badges everywhere. You have this badge here, you have an ALL4 badge here, the badges in the front and the rear, just badges everywhere. But I do like the overall contrast all over the vehicle, how you have different colors. You have the black body cladding, you have the silver paints, you have the white paint on your mirror covers and your roof, and then your windows are surrounded by chrome and then black as well. So overall, I think it looks extremely nice. Let's go ahead and check out the rear. Taking a look at the back of the Countryman, again, you're getting those typical design proportions that you would see in a Mini vehicle. The roof line's coming over the back glass here, which features the world's smallest windshield wiper. Coming lower, you have the Mini badge, you have another badge here, and then it says Countryman on the side here. I think that's a lot going on for such a small vehicle. The amount of badges seem a little bit excessive, I'm not gonna lie. Now, if you pop open the hatch here, you can either use the handle or swing your leg underneath, it'll open up automatically. It'll give you access to 17 cubic feet of storage. If you want more storage, drop the second row. That'll give you 42 cubic feet of storage. There's also some storage underneath here for your charging cable or whatever else you want to throw down there. One touch drops the hatch, but overall, I think the back of the vehicle looks a little bit cluttered with all the badges. I would debadge this if I was seriously looking at this vehicle. Now, my favorite aspect about the rear are the LED tail lamps that feature the Union Jack flag incorporated into the design. I think that's really creative, really unique, and stands out when you see this vehicle on the road. Let's go ahead and check out the interior of the Countryman and then take it out on the road and see how it handles. Coming to the interior, I think the overall use of materials and the execution of the design fits in well with the overall theme of the vehicle. I think this interior is really unique compared to its competitors in the same segment. So starting at the top of the dash, it's covered in a rubberized material here. Coming lower, you have a large circle with an LED light strip and your infotainment screen, which is an 8.8-inch display here located in the center. This is a touchscreen and it's fairly high resolution as well. It features your Apple CarPlay and your Android Auto. Pretty much any feature that you would want in a modern vehicle today can be found here. Now, what I find the most unique aspect of this vehicle's interior to be is this light strip that goes around this circle here. It kind of communicates different aspects of the vehicle to you. So if you're backing up, the light strip will change color depending if you're getting closer and closer to an object. Also, if you want to change your fan speed, it lights up white and lets you know how high the fan speed is. I think that's pretty neat as well. It does the same if you change the temperature of the vehicle as well. So I think that's really cool how it uses the light to communicate the different changes that's going on within the vehicle. I think that's really neat. I haven't seen that in the industry before, but overall I think it looks extremely nice and just fits in well with the overall theme of this vehicle. Coming lower, again, you have the rubberized controls for your air conditioning system. And then I love how it has toggles all throughout the vehicle. So there's one for your start stop, one for your e-drive, one for your traction control, and the different driving modes. So I love the toggles that are in this vehicle. There's also toggles on the top of the roof here as well, but overall I think it looks really nice. Now coming further down in the center console, you have two cup holders, of course your gear selector, controls for your infotainment system, so that way you're not dedicated to just using the touchscreen, and then of course some storage here in the center console as well. Now the steering wheel feels nice in my hands. The leather feels high quality. I love how smooth it is in my hands. Really feels good. Of course you have a mini badge and again the flag located on the bottom of the steering wheel. I think that's a really nice touch. Now behind the steering wheel there's a nice colorful digital anti-glare screen here. Really looks nice and clean, goes in well with the overall vehicle. Doesn't look over cluttered, it's just simple. All the information that you want is right there in front of you, so I like how they did that as well. Now coming over to the door panels, they're covered in that same rubber material that's found on the dash, and then the door handles feature the lock and unlock button incorporated within the door handle itself, so that's really nice and clever. And then of course you have controls for all four windows, your side view mirrors, and then of course storage on the bottom of the door as well. The seats overall are comfortable. They do feature 3 levels of heating, and again the overall style again fits in well with the theme of the vehicle. You have Alcantara on the side bolsters, and then the seats are mostly leather, and then you have a unique design incorporated in the seats as well. Let's go ahead and check out the back. The seating in the back of the Countryman is fairly comfortable. Your legroom is about 37.6 inches back here. You have about 40 inches of legroom up front. I am sitting behind myself, so I did not move the driver's seat when I got out the front and got into the back here, so it's not too cramped. I do love how they have a panoramic roof in this vehicle. Brings in tons of light into this dark interior, so that looks nice as well. You can control this independently since this is manual, so if you want to control the shades here, just simply slide it back and forth if you don't want the sunlight back here. But overall, it is comfortable. You have dual air conditioning vents back here and dual USB Type-C ports as well. Let's go ahead and get the Countryman out on the street and see how it handles. All right, so we're cruising in the Mini now. Before we get started, I want to ask you guys to be sure to hit that like button. That's definitely going to help us out. So Isha, is this your first experience in a Mini?
Yeah, it is. I've always wanted to be in one because remember that movie back in the day?
Yes.
The closest I came to being in a
Italian Job.
Yeah, the closest I came to being in a Mini Cooper was at King's Dominion in Virginia. If you guys have ever been there, they have that Italian Job roller coaster and you're in a Mini Cooper. It's a fun ride if they still have it.
Right. So this is called the Countryman. This is their SUV. So to you, this probably just looked like a regular car, but it's actually an SUV. Minis are super small, right? Typically.
Yeah. This one's bigger though.
That's why it's their SUV.
That's why I asked you. I was like, what is that?
Yep.
I couldn't really tell it was a Mini Cooper,
yeah.
But this is not an SUV.
All right, so as far as an SUV goes, this doesn't meet your standard.
No, this is more, I would consider a crossover for a Mini Cooper.
Okay, so what do you think about the exterior?
I think it still looked like a Mini Cooper. I didn't think it looked bad. I kind of mistook it for something else though. I don't know the vehicle, but I think it looks pretty cool, kind of retro. You know, it is boxy, but it didn't read ugly to me.
Right. When you saw it in the driveway, you were like, "What is that?"
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I thought it was pretty cool. I just didn't know what it was.
Right. So what about the interior?
Yeah, so the interior, I feel like it's very futuristic. I've never seen a circular infotainment system.
Yeah, so you got a 8.8-inch display here, but I really like how they did the design. So if you notice, there's a light band going around here.
Yeah.
Adjust the fan speed and look at the light band and see what happens.
Oh, wow, cool. It changes color.
So it lets you know where you are as far as the fan goes, or even if you adjust the temperature, it shows you where you are.
Cold or hot. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen a circular one, and I thought it was pretty neat. Even your little display here.
I do like that display. It's small and compact.
Small, compact, but overall, I feel like once again, Mini Cooper brought the inside exterior look on the inside. Everything here is circular. Your rear view mirrors,
side view
mirrors, they're all circular as well. Everything, including your
the panoramic.
It's
got that theme to it. Yeah.
So I mean, even the windows. Usually, your windows is not this arched like that, you know.
Right.
They did a good job.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. It's leather. You got Alcantara here. It definitely has. It doesn't feel cheap.
Right.
You know, it does not.
Because Mini's owned by BMW. So.
Oh, okay.
But I think the interior is very tastefully done. I think everything's been executed extremely well. So, but overall, the interior. Look at the toggles here.
I know. I saw
switches.
that. That reminded me of like a airplane or something. That type of feel.
It gives you a nice, cool feeling while driving this.
Yeah.
And you know, since this is a mini SUV, it's not going to sit high like most other SUVs on the market.
That's why I said it's not an SUV.
Right. But this is something you could take a road trip in. There's a little bit of road noise, I will say that. But overall ride quality is fairly comfortable. What do you think about the seats as far as the comfort?
Oh yeah, it is comfortable. And it has that extended seat here, you know, for your legs. And I love that feature.
Yeah.
And it's very smooth, very comfortable. I'm pretty happy with it. It has like this kind of cool perforated diamond. It's not stitching.
It's an interesting pattern they got on there.
It really is. So I like it.
Yep. So on top of all that, this is a hybrid. So you're able to get up to 73 miles per gallon equivalent when using the hybrid powertrain on a full charge, and of course the combustion engine as well. So in combination, the total range for this vehicle is 300 miles, right? But if you're just going full electric mode, your range is 18 miles on full electric, on a full charge. So it all depends on what you want. Again, a lot of these green vehicles are really cool, but my concern is that the vehicles that people are buying to save money on gas are still expensive. So as options, this one's about $46,000. That's not a cheap vehicle in my book, right? So again, you are able to save on gas, but I feel like, and it's not just pertaining to this vehicle, when it comes to these green vehicles, they're going to get you one way or the other.
Right,
it's either going to be gas or, it's going to be an expensive vehicle.
Understood. Yeah.
So that's just my thoughts on that. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think about a lot of these green vehicles. But overall, I am impressed with the ride quality. It is a fun little SUV to drive around, or crossover, whatever you want to call it. I will say it is fun to drive around, and that is what Mini is all about, making small vehicles that are fun to just throw around. Now, obviously, this isn't the most sporty one they make, but you know, there's a demographic that wants this, right? So you do have seats in the back there, decent legroom in the back there as well, 17 cubic feet of storage. You know, it gets the job done. This is something you could daily drive.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. The overall ride quality, you know, I feel good.
Right.
You know, and then it keeps me planted too. I meant to mention it does have side bolstering. So like as he just took that turn, and it's keeping me planted.
Yep. One thing I will point out for the price point, I do wish this did have a surround view camera system. So when you're in reverse, I noticed that it only shows you the back, right? I would like to see something that completely surrounds the car for this price, you know?
So what you're saying is you would like to see a little bit more tech in it for this price point.
Yeah, just a little more.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, because we have rode in several other vehicles that are lower than this and has a loaded with tech.
Right, right. Like that Sonata we reviewed.
Yeah. I
35,000.
I was blown by that.
Loaded with tech. So.
I wanted to hate it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Let's get the tech in here, and I think that would really, really spice this up.
Right, right. But keep the price point the same. So I feel like once you start getting into a $45,000 range.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a seriously competitive price range.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other offerings.
Now,
that you
would
could
you
look
consider this just a daily driver? What are people kind of buying this vehicle for?
This would be a daily driver for sure. And you could use this as a family vehicle as well. You know, if you're a person who loves leaving a small carbon footprint, as much as I hate to use that term, this would be something that you would consider, because you can go in all electric mode for 17 miles. You know, there are people who don't drive that far to work every day, so that's something that you could do. Right? But overall, I think this is a fun car to drive. Ownership would probably be a fun experience. The views around the vehicle are pretty good. The A-pillars seem very thin from the driver's perspective. Seeing over the hood is easy. So I love how it's just so easy to see all around you in this vehicle. But with that being said, those are my thoughts on this one. You have any closing thoughts?
I think it's pretty good. I like it. My first time in a Mini, and I like it. I would like to see, like you said, a little bit more tech. Now that I have been exposed to those things, now I look for those things in each vehicle.
Right,
you know,
right.
Trying to figure out why is it at this price point.
Exactly.
Is it just the name, or what are they really truly offering?
Exactly.
And that's something that, you know, you all out there should also look for when you're looking for a vehicle.
Yep.
You know.
All right, so we'll wrap it up here. Thanks, Isha, for joining us. So that was a brief tour of this 2021 Mini Cooper SE Countryman ALL4 plug-in hybrid. What do you guys think about this one? Let me know in the comment section. Is this something that you could see yourself driving on a daily basis? This is a fun vehicle and offers some of those typical characteristics we've seen from Mini Coopers of the past. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves.